Essential shrimp keeping and breeding terms every beginner should know. Let's review some common terminology in shrimp keeping and breeding that's in many articles, YouTube videos, and forum posts. Welcome everyone. This is Ray from RW Aquarium Pages. I'm here to share my journey in planted aquariums, shrimp tanks, and everything in between. Keeping and breeding shrimp can be an exciting and rewarding experience. However, like any hobby, it comes with its own set of unique terminologies and concepts. To help you navigate the shrimp keeping world with confidence, I've compiled a list of 30 essential terms that every beginner should know. Let's dive in and expand your shrimp keeping vocabulary. Neocaridina Shrimp. It's a type of freshwater shrimp, often referred as cherry shrimp. The Neocaridina species, such as the Neocaridina davidi, which is the red cherry shrimp, are commonly kept in shrimp tanks. They are the easier shrimp to keep and breed compared to Caridina, as they are adaptive to a wider range of water parameters. As a result, most tap water that's dechlorinated will work for these shrimp. There's different colors and names such as Bloody Mary, Blue Dreams, Green Jade, Black Rose, and Blue Jelly. Keep in mind, they typically do better in harder water with a pH that's a little bit basic. These shrimp are relatively easy to keep and breed in your aquarium, and breeding success is exciting and encourages you to keep more challenging types. Caridina Shrimp. Another type of freshwater shrimp in the genus is Caridina. There are popular ones like the Caridina cantanosus, which is the crystal red, crystal black, tigers, and super tigers. There are crosses between crystal and tiger shrimp that produces pintos, galaxy, and galaxy fishbone. There's also Caridina serrata, which is tangerine tigers, aurora blue, yellow king kong. These are some of the common names, but not a full list. Typically, they are kept in water with cooler temperatures and with a lower acidic pH. They are more challenging than cherry shrimp, but once you get the hang of it, a $1 shrimp and a $500 shrimp basically requires the same amount of effort. I have an excellent video on this topic on my channel. I do also have a video on the easier to keep and breed Caridina shrimp, which are the Caridina serrata family. Water parameters. These are the chemical and physical aspects of water that greatly influence the health and the well-being of your shrimp. We'll go over each of these things in more detail. For example, temperature, pH, hardness, and ammonia levels are all examples of important parameters to monitor. Shrimp require stable water parameters to thrive, but some of these parameters can be measured to ensure that it's within range for the type of shrimp that you're keeping and breeding. For example, the water parameter of pH for Caridina requires a pH range of 5.5 to 6.5, and Neocaridina, the cherry shrimp, typically do better in pH ranges of around 7.2. Cycling. The process of establishing beneficial bacteria in the aquarium that converts toxic ammonia into less harmful substances, such as nitrite and nitrate. Proper cycling is crucial for creating a stable and a healthy shrimp environment. You'll need a bacteria source and a food for the bacteria to grow, typically ammonia of some sort. Mature aquarium. This is slightly different than cycling an aquarium. A mature aquarium is stable and has biofilm on most of its surfaces for the shrimp to feast on. I typically age my tanks for 3 to 4 months before introducing shrimp into them. But that's just my method, and it's been working well for me in the past 20 years. Some might argue that if you use biofilm products like Bacter-AE, the aquarium will be mature much faster. Biofilm. A thin layer of organic matter that naturally forms on various surfaces in the aquarium. Shrimp love grazing on biofilm as it provides them with a nutritious food source. This is what they naturally eat in the wild. If there's enough biofilm in the aquarium, you won't need to feed the shrimp any commercial food. But you can use biofilm producing products like Bacter-AE or simply place a small piece of Indian almond leaf into your aquarium and it's covered in biofilm shortly. Berried. This term is used to describe the female shrimp carrying eggs under their pleoplods, which are the swimmerrets. It's an exciting sight that indicates breeding success. Some say that they look like little berries in the swimmerets. Depending on the temperature of your water, you'll see shrimplets in about 3 to 6 weeks once you've noticed a berry shrimp. Molting. The shrimp undergo molting, a process where they shed their old exoskeleton to grow larger. Molting is a vital part of their growth and development. It's best to leave the molt, the shell, in the aquarium for the shrimp to eat. It contains beneficial minerals. TDS, Total Dissolved Solids. It's a measurement that represents the combined mineral content in the water. Monitoring TDS helps ensure optimal water quality for your shrimp. Typically, I check the TDS of my aquarium as a TDS meter gives an instant reading. But keep in mind that the TDS is not as accurate as a KH or GH readings. Some examples are the TDS of my Caridina shrimp tank is about 110 parts per million, and for my Neocaridina shrimp, the tanks are around 250 parts per million. But this reading doesn't differentiate between GH and KH or anything else, but it's a great general measure. GH, General Hardness, which measures the mineral content, particularly calcium and magnesium ions, in the water. Maintaining the right GH level is important for the shrimp health. It's more accurate than a TDS reading, but the GH test kits take a longer time to have the results. Sometimes when there's molting issues, it's typically due to the GH being off. For example, Caridina shrimp only requires GH and not KH. KH, Carbonate Hardness. It's the measuring of the buffering capacity of the water. It helps stabilize the pH levels, ensuring a suitable environment for your shrimp. Typically, Neocaridina shrimp requires KH, and Caridina shrimp doesn't require KH in the water. pH, the power of hydrogen. It's the measure of acidity or alkalinity of the water. Maintaining stable pH levels within the preferred range is crucial for the well-being of the shrimp. For example, below 7 is acidic, for example 6, and above 7 is basic, for example 8.4. Invertebrate-Safe. This refers to products or substances that are safe to use in the aquarium without harming your shrimp or other invertebrates. Always opt for invertebrate-safe options when choosing aquarium supplies. Some medications or dog flea sprays are not invertebrate-safe, so please avoid them at all costs. Acclimatization. The process of gradually adjusting shrimp to changes in water parameters or introducing them to a new environment. Proper acclimatization helps minimize the stress and ensures a smooth transition for the shrimp. Usually, using airline to drip the aquarium water into a container with the new shrimp. This will allow the new shrimp to get adapted to your water parameters. Of course, it's important to keep the water parameters as close as to the breeder that you're getting the shrimp from as possible. The opposite of this is a drop and plop method, which we'll discuss next. Drop and plop method. This is where you take the shrimp out of their bag. Typically, the water is semi-toxic from the shrimp waste accumulated during travel. You simply scoop the shrimp and plop it into your new aquarium. I've used this method previously, but nowadays, I prefer the super slow acclimatization method. Breeding colony. It's a group of shrimp that are kept together for the purpose of breeding and producing offspring. Building a healthy breeding colony requires careful selection and maintenance. The breeding colony of your shrimp will adjust to the size of your aquarium. For example, if there's too many in an aquarium size, they'll stop breeding. Line breeding. It's the practice of selectively breeding shrimp within the same lineage to enhance the specific or desirable traits over multiple generations. Line breeding allows breeders to refine and improve certain traits or characteristics. For example, I'm doing this with my red fancy tiger and my orange eye red tigers, getting the red stripes nice and thick. Crossbreeding. Breeding shrimp from different species or color variations to produce hybrid offsprings. Crossbreeding can result in unique and visually striking shrimp. Some examples are the pintos, the galaxy fishbone, and galaxy shrimp, which are examples of crossbreeding crystal with the tiger shrimp and then line breeding them for generations to get them more stable. F1, F2, F3, etc. These are the abbreviations used to denote the successful generations in shrimp breeding. For example, F1 represents the first generation offspring, and F2 is the second generation, and so on. Substrate. The material placed at the bottom of the aquarium, such as gravel or specialized shrimp substrates. Substrate choices can influence the water chemistry and provide hiding places for the shrimp. Caridina shrimp requires soft acidic water and an active substrate, such as ADA Amazonia, that leaches into the water naturally and keeps it soft and acidic. The active substrate does deplete and needs to be replaced. For Neocaridina shrimp, the cherry shrimp, most people use inert substrate that doesn't affect the water parameters or chemistry in the aquatic environment. Biofiltration. The process of where beneficial bacteria converts the toxic ammonia into nitrite or into less harmful nitrate. Biofiltration is essential for maintaining water quality in shrimp tanks. Sponge filter. A sponge filter is basically a sponge with a tube or an area for the air to rise and to move the water. It provides additional surface for beneficial bacteria to colonize on the sponge. These filters are efficient and shrimp-friendly filtration options. Shrimp-safe medications. Medications specifically formulated to treat shrimp diseases or parasites without harming the shrimp themselves. It's important to use medications that are shrimp-safe when needed. Grading. The process of categorizing shrimp based on their color and pattern quality. Higher grades represent shrimp with more desirable traits and are often sought after by shrimp enthusiasts. For example, solid lines that don't bleed into each other, or spider legs, are an example of higher grade shrimp. Commercial pellet food. They are compressed pellets or discs rich in algae and other nutrients commonly used as supplementary food for the shrimp. They provide important dietary variety for your shrimp. Mosses. Aquatic plants like Java moss or Christmas moss serve as a shelter and a grazing surface for the shrimp. Mosses not only enhance the aesthetics of the aquarium, but also provide beneficial hiding spots for the shrimp. Mosses and plants can help clean the water by absorbing nitrite and nitrate. Subadult. It refers to juvenile shrimp that have gone through multiple molts and are nearing maturity. Subadult shrimps are developing their distinct characteristics. Hardscape. The decorative elements in your aquarium, such as rocks, driftwoods, and plants. Hardscape provides structure of individual interest and hiding places for the shrimp. Some can affect the water parameters, for example, sear rock, and some don't, like lava rock. RODI water, which is reverse osmosis deionized water. It's a highly purified form of water commonly used in shrimp keeping to control water parameters. RODI water ensures a clean and consistent water source for the shrimp. It has a base of 0 TDS, 0 KH, and 0 GH. It's a base for shrimp keepers to start their water off and then add back GH or GH plus KH to the desired levels for your type of shrimp. Genetic diversity. The variety of genetic traits with a shrimp population. Maintaining genetic diversity is essential for long-term health, vigor, and adaptability of the shrimp. Some people will gather shrimp from different sources and combine them so the genetics will be stronger. As you probably guessed, too much inbreeding is not a great thing and can result in defects in the shrimp. In conclusion, understanding the terminology and concepts associated with Caridina and Neocaridina shrimp keeping and breeding is vital for beginners. With these 30+ essential terms in your shrimp keeping arsenal, you'll be well equipped to embark your journey with confidence. Remember, continuous learning and exploration will deepen your knowledge and foster success in successful shrimp keeping. Have I missed any terminology that you'd like me to cover in the next video? Let's discuss. I absolutely love sharing my experiences, success and failures with everyone. It's just so exciting to document my journey in plant to shrimp tanks and to share it with others. Stay tuned for more informative video, as I've got plenty of content in store for you. Thanks for watching and listening to my rambles. I really appreciate it. Have an awesome day and happy shrimp keeping.
Thanks for watching!